Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Dr. Rashida as our lecturer IBS. So, first of all, we apologize for our group members' mistake. So, I will continue to introduce me and my group members. So, in this assignment, only have two members, which is me, Nur Adwiyah binti Sadan, and my partner is Siti Syarah binti Nordin. So in this assignment, we was choose Hospital Kuala Lumpur as our case study because this project was used IBS. Introduction and history of IBS. So IBS is an industrial that process in equipment, facilities, and technology that where they are aimed at maximize product output, minimize manpower resources, and improve product quality. So IBS was created conducive environment for building system to be developed. In Malaysia, people are very familiar with IBS as prefabricated or prefab construction and modern construction method MNC. IBS will ensure that component manufacturing system will perform with machine, templates, and other forms of machinery and equipment that are efficient and advanced. So, IBS was first being practiced in 1624 in yearly wooden houses were shipped from England to new settlement in North America and applied in Malaysia in 1966, where Malaysian government has launched two pilot projects, which is namely the Circular Flat Kuala Lumpur and the Jalan River Range Flat Penang. Both of these projects was used precast concrete elements because of their low cost. So our objective of the study is we want to investigate the IBS calculation in Hospital Kuala Lumpur. We want to analyze the adoption of IBS in the Hospital Kuala Lumpur development, and also we want to identify the importance of IBS to hospital visitors. There are several types of IBS in Malaysia, which is pre-concrete framing panel and wall system, formwork system, steel framing system, prefabricated wood framing system, and block work system. So the types of precast concrete system that we use in Hospital Kuala Lumpur is large panel system, frame system, and slab column system with walls. Even IBS is good in manufacturing products in construction, but they still have advantages and disadvantages, which is advantages is safe construction time, quality assurance, usage of pre-stressed concrete, cost-effective, durability, and safe construction platform. Otherwise, disadvantages of IBS is high startup investment, transportation issues, difficulty dealing, and modification. So now IBS scoring system. So in this scoring system, IBS maximum scoring for each building is 100 points. So there are several parts in this IBS scoring system, which is part 1 structural system, part 2 wall system, and part 3 is other simple construction solution. In this part 1, this part contains maximum score is 50 points. The points awarded cover the various type of structural system used on the building. So the part 2, this part contains maximum score is 30 points. The points are awarded based on the type of wall system used on the building. So the part 3 is in this part maximum score in this part is 20 points. So the points awarded at this level are based on the other uses that facilitate construction solutions. So our case study is about Hospital Kuala Lumpur. Hospital Kuala Lumpur or HKL was built using the IBS. So this accommodates a total of 11,095 precast concrete components, which is covering column, beams, slab, elevator walls, parapet walls, stairs, and ramps. So the process of assembling Hospital Kuala Lumpur car park components to completion took only 198 days, with an average of 56 ringgit Malaysian bill per day, with the effort to complete the entire superstructure. In other words, by using the IBS system, Hospital Kuala Lumpur car park project can be completed within 10 months only. So the elements that were used in build HKL car park is three, which is precast beam, main beam and H beam, precast column, and precast slab, which is hollow core slab. So now is concept and framework that IBS was used several precast to complete the hospital Kuala Lumpur, which is there are four precast, which is precast slab, precast column and beam, precast concrete wall, and precast concrete staircase. So precast slab, there are double T slab, single T, hollow core slab, and flat slab. So precast column and beam, there are shear walls. So in precast concrete wall, there are cladding or curtain walls, load-bearing wall unit, and shear walls that also used in hospital Kuala Lumpur. So these are several drawing plans that we are provided from hospital Kuala Lumpur car park.
Assalamualaikum, I am Siti Syara binti Muhammad Nordin. Okay, for the schedule modular of IBS component that be applied into the hospital Kuala Lumpur. First, the prefabricated steel roof. They have 5 components that we use. For prefabricated window, they have 3 components that we use. For precast hollow core concrete slab, they have 8 components that we use. For prefabricated concrete column, they have 6 components that we use. For the precast door, they have 4 doors that we use. And lastly, for the precast concrete staircase, they have 1 staircase that we use. Okay, for the construction detail, construction sequence of slab, beam, and column. First, prepare and install foundation site, ground beam, and ground slab, floor slab for in situ construction. Install precast concrete column and beam in the correct position. Installation of semi-precast concrete slab, and lastly, set up concrete topping in single one. Okay, for the construction sequence of precast concrete staircase, first prepare and precast staircase placed in safe area and close to the installation precast before flown. Next, precast staircase to flown by crane and landed into place on temporary support frame to the floor slab. Next, the crane must be careful of precast is into exact position by adjusting screw jacks in the frame precast staircase. Then, the employee jack screw below precast staircase fill into frame to support. Next, the precast staircase must fit close to the frame stair to allow maximum foot space on the track. Lastly, the temporary support frame put below precast staircase with the floor slab for support this installation. Okay, next for the concrete detail in concrete stair. First, stair to floor. Second, landing to down riser. Third, landing to wall, and lastly, landing to up riser. Okay, for the construction sequence of prefabricated bedroom port installation with roller. First, the finishing port will be dismantled using a crane or forklift truck directly to the construction site. Port that has been dismantled by crane or forklift will be placed on a special roller to be placed in its final position. Then the roller is placed on the correct platform. At this stage, they need to aware that the port roll process should be smooth, flat, and free. At this stage, they will also use 3 to 4 people to move and direct the port due to its width and thickness. Special roller will be used to accommodate the side load of the port structure and will not under the base. The next stage, the smallest roller will be placed at the final position. At the last stage, when the standard hydraulic jack machinery is released from the roller, the port position is already in its last position. In any case, the surface under the port must be at perfect level to avoid any distortion. Okay, for the construction sequence of prefabricated steel roof truss, first is steel roof truss process in situ and delivered to the next stage. Employee must combine joint connection of steel roof truss. The truss are lifted by crane and aligned into position on the support beam. Connection of steel roof truss lock using bolts and nuts. Next, underlayment roof materials such as aluminium netting, reflection foil insulation after placed purlin. Lastly, underlayment material covered with galvalume metal roof panel and screw onto the roof. For the IBS core calculation, they have three parts, which is structural system, wall system, and other simplified construction solution. For total IBS score for part A, part 1, part 2, and part 3, we conclude that the total is 84 points. Okay, for the conclusion, in this case study, the building that we observe is Hospital Kuala Lumpur. The aim of choosing this building is because this have some facility in this building, implement the use of IBS. The facilities are parking guidance system, auto-pay machine, and ease of using touch and go, and others. The IBS scoring system places great emphasis on the nature of the use of prefabricated and precast component, off-site component production, and use of component standard, repeatability, and design of modular coordination concept. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.